Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Jay with Shooter Touch Films, and I'm back with another one. We back doing telecom. So today we doing a Monopole. We are working with T-Mobile. We're doing all NSD sites, meaning new site developments, and also meaning that it won't be any equipment in the compound or on the tower, but they want a digital twin, and then we have to hit a few civils. This is part of the course of how to make 6 figures flying a drone, doing telecom. But we're gonna go through the inspection. I'm gonna take you guys through it and let you see what goes on within the NSD. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We're gonna run through this site. Again, it shouldn't take any more than 30 to 45 minutes to inspect this. Again, we're only taking a few civil photos and then we catching flight. So I'm gonna record my screen so you can see how to fly a monopole. Then I'm gonna record my screen so you can see what photos we're taking for the inspection. Let's do it. All right, some gear that you are gonna need when doing inspections, whether it's T-Mobile or AT&T. I wanna say with T-Mobile, they're requiring now that they want the Matterport, they want the compound Matterported. I know with AT&T for sure, you do have to Matterport the shelter. If it's not a shelter, then they still want the compound Matterported as well. When I say Matterport, this is the Matterport camera, Matterport device. If you want to get in telecom, you're definitely gonna need this. You can get with me. I can save you some money. Just let me know. We're gonna start this so that way we can get it up and running. Because again, it's gonna take about 2 minutes just to take a few photos. So once we're done, we're gonna Matterport the compound and then I'm gonna put the drone in the air. Okay, first things first. When you get on site, you wanna always call and log in with the NOC of the tower owner. So we're gonna call American Tower and then log in. All right, so first and foremost, we're gonna capture the gate sign and then the gate combo. We'll go ahead and pull this out. Grab this Matterport. Grab you guys. Second, I like taking a wide, like the wide angle. Then I get a close up of each one. Get both of these in one, and then just take a photo of that as well. This is the safety cable anchor. It's not really on here. We're just gonna grab a photo of it. And then when we take flight, we're gonna capture one that's on the top of the tower as well. Being that there's no T-Mobile equipment on here, I get a wide angle of the whole compound just so I can tag my NAs to it. It's only like 3 or 4 NAs, but just so you know, they can see the area. Now, they want ground bars. These are ground bars. It's 2. They just want the ones that's in the compound. It has nothing to do with T-Mobile, but I just grab them because I don't want to hear any complaints, any fails. So now we're just gonna move on to the Matterport. All right, when dealing with the Matterport, you want to go to your Wi-Fi settings and get on the Matterport network. Otherwise, you're not gonna have any connection. All right, now that we're on there, we go back to the Matterport app, and then when dealing with Matterport, always the first scan will always be a 3D scan. That's gonna set the base for the whole scan of the compound. The first scan always has to be 3D. Once we're done with the first scan, we're gonna go down to 360 capture. And that's gonna just pretty much take photos, but the first scan has to be a 3D scan. All right, let's go. if y'all heard that, but basically saying I got an error saying that like far as 3D scans, the sun is not out, but sometimes when it's too bright, the scan doesn't stick. So we're just going through it again. We're gonna see if it does it again. If so, then we're just gonna move over here where it's a little more shade. Yeah, it did it again. So it did it again. So let's just relocate. Let's try to put it right here where it's out the shade. Should work now. Let's see. All right, aligning. All right, so yeah, that's what it was. So I guess he was kind of getting the sun that's trying to come out, but now that we're in a little shade, we good to go. All right, so now first scan is over. So we're gonna select 360 capture, hit done. Gonna get the Matterport and move it. Again, with me, I like doing the first center shot. I like to do it by the tower, but clearly we couldn't. So I like to get it by the tower, and then I like to just go to the four corners of the compound. And anything else extra, you know, it helps out. But as long as you get the four corners of the compound, you good. Because again, there's nothing in here but AT&T. So T-Mobile is trying to make their way out. Mind you, you don't have to go directly in the corner. Again, there's no equipment in the compound. So just as long as you making an effort to get the four sides and just so they can see the whole area, then you good. Oh yeah, when doing Matterport, always make sure you get a scan on that side and on this side. In the app, it requires, or it asks, that you get a scan on each side of the ice bridge. The ice bridge is this up here. They call it the ice bridge because, you know, if it get icy or snowy, then it really won't come onto the wires. Like it'll seep through, but it won't be like snow on them. So now we done with the Matterport. So we're gonna grab the drone, put it up in the air. I'm gonna screen record that. Y'all can see how to fly a monopole. Not that hard. You pretty much doing orbits. There's no trees around, so it's gonna be very easy to fly. So we good. So we actually done with the compound. So we can go ahead and lock this up. I usually leave it open when I'm doing an AT&T site, because sometimes I do tend to miss a few. You know, I'm not perfect. But with this, it only requires a few shots. And I know for sure we got them. So we can go ahead and lock the compound up. Also with the Matterport, with those 360s, you have to place them on the map. When I say place them on the map, so it shows the scan right here. It shows the scan, but you gotta click right here in this corner, this circle, and then it's gonna have all the scans. We did 6 scans total. So you just tap it, and then you just hit that place on map. You hit place on map, and then you just go through the process until you have all of your scans on the map. And then you just go to upload anyway, and then one more click for upload. And then depending on your service, it uploads within like 0.5 seconds. So let's lock this compound up. Then we go throw the drone in the air. All right, so me personally, what I like to do is I like to use the same SD card that's in the GoPro. So that way I don't have to be switching back and forth. When when I'm uploading my data. So I use the same micro SD card. I put it in the drone and use this so everything can just be on one. When I say micro SD, you know, just one of these. I got the 128, so I won't never have to run out of space. But me personally, I like to format the SD card once I'm done, so that way, you know, just be clear. That's after I move and backed up, you know, everything that's on the SD card. Access road, safety climb, compound site overview, the tower flight, then the overall. Y'all will see what I mean once I get up in the air. Double tap that baby. Double tap this baby. Good to go. So due to no equipment and it doesn't have any cables actually on the tower, we're just gonna start with the safety climb and then just go up. We are doing 0.7 intervals as far as the capture, meaning I'm not manually hitting the shutter. My controller is automatically doing it. It's automatically controlling the shutter of the drone. All right, so just gonna switch to single. All right, so I don't see it. So we're gonna have to drop down and probably shoot up. So there is the top safety anchor. So we're just gonna get a photo of that. It is pretty windy right now, so keep that in mind. The Mavic 3 Enterprise does amazing in wind. All right, so notice I'm facing north. The nadir shot always have to face north, so keep that in mind. And then we're just gonna pop out and then get to move the gimbal angle to 50. Drop down some. 50 is in the left corner right there. We'll drop down some, switch it back to timed, and then we're gonna do the orbits. I'm left dominant, so it's just easier for me to go this way. There's really no preference. I mean, it's really your preference of to where you, it's really your preference to how you want to do your orbit. I'm left dominant though. So you just fly the orbit until you get back to north. So now that we're back, okay, we at 145 height wise. We're just gonna drop down 15 feet, then fly another orbit. It's beeping right now, just because the antennas are in the vicinity, but we're not actually close to them. Just in case you're wondering about the beeping. For some reason, my Maverick, it does that, like mid-flight, like it want to glitch for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I just take my fingers off the sticks, let it regather itself, and then just continue. But as you can see, we just dropping down a few feet each time, like 15 feet each time. It's definitely windy though. Now granted, you are I passed the north a little bit. That's okay. A little overlap. It won't hurt. You are supposed to have a hard hat, but I left mine at home. I got like 5. And truthfully, I wasn't going to go buy another one. I have too many already. So I have line of sight. I can see the drone. I'm just staying out the photos. So if you don't have a hard hat, that's okay. Just make sure you're not in the photos. If you get caught in the photos and you submit it, they're going to make you go back because you're supposed to have a hard hat. Just being honest. All right. So we're going to drop down after this one. After this orbit, we're going to drop down a little bit more. And we're going to flip the gimbal up, the gimbal angle up to about 40 degrees. So it's a little flatter. And then we're going to switch to the compound site overview, and then we're going to be done. So drop down a little bit more. 42, that's good. And then you want to get this ice bridge in the capture. So that's why I evened out a little bit. But this is like the lower flight, the lower tower flight. Okay, almost done. All right. So now what I like to do is switch it back to single capture. I like to just get a sky shot. So when I'm doing my data, I'll know where to stop at as far as me transferring in between folders. I'm gonna go up some more. All right, switch back to time. Okay. And then when you're doing the compound site overview, the CSO, just make sure you're doing your best to get the whole compound in frame. If you cut a corner a little bit, that's okay. But just make sure you get the whole compound in frame. So this is the upper compound, the upper CSO. And then we also gonna do a lower. See, I cut it off a little bit. It's okay because I actually started on that side. So we good. So now, instead of stopping, we're just gonna move the gimbal angle up to about 28. And then we're just gonna fly over the compound now. Get that in. Then we're gonna slowly turn. Okay. Turn again. So the goal is to provide as much data as you can for when we create the 3D models. So that way it comes out perfect. And later I'll show you how they come out once they actually render. So now we're done, and it's time to bring her back home. And that is how you fly a monopole with NSD.